Today, I will be doing a Universal Islands of Adventure tier list, and obviously we will be doing a tier list of all of the different rides and attractions at Islands of Adventure, my personal favorite theme park. But before we start, here are all the tiers. We got S being top tier, A being still really good, B slightly above average, C being kind of average, D being I wouldn't really want to ride these, and F being they need to be removed immediately. And haven't been on is for the couple of rides that I haven't been on, but I've been on most of these, so we should be good. To start the tier list is one that I haven't been on, Bilge Rat Barges. The only time that I've had a chance to go on this was last ride of the day, and it was like a 10-minute wait, but I did not want to get soaked. And all the other times that we've been, it's been like an hour long for this thing, so that's the reason why I haven't been on it. But it looks fun, but it looks to get you soaked, so if you do plan to go on it, just make sure you have extra clothes or something. Next up, the first roller coaster on the list is Flight of the Hippogriff. I'm gonna put it in C tier. It is a solid family coaster, and that's about that. It is just the normal, like, old Vekoma family coaster model, so it's just like a couple turns. And compared to the other rides in the park, this thing isn't themed as well. It's still got solid theming with, like, the Hippogriff, what's it called? Hippogriff animatronic, that's what it's called. But the queue line isn't very themed, and the trains are just, like, the trains are also pretty bad. I don't like the trains, but it's okay. Alright, we got Dr. Doom Free Fall. It's either B or A for me. I'm gonna go B for now. I think that this is a good flat ride for this park, especially since that this ride doesn't have any actual, like, flat rides that are, like, at, like, a normal Cedar Fair or Six Flags park. But the theming is really cool, and this thing doesn't usually have a line, which is also very nice. But the launch up gets good airtime, but then you're kind of just bobbling there for a while. And at least you get good views from up there, but other than that, the ride experience isn't the best. But overall, it does look very cool at night, so that also bumps it up a little bit for me. Another that I haven't been on, this is like the Hogwarts Express ride. I've never had the Hopper at Universal, so I'm unable to ride this ride because you can only ride it from going from one park to the other. And it is just a mode of transportation, so I wouldn't expect it to be very high on this list, but it looks like alright for just moving you from park to park. Alright, got Carousel. We're gonna go D tier. This is just a normal carousel that you could find at every park in America. The only thing is that the actual things that you sit on are Dr. Seuss themed, and it's literally just a carousel. It's okay. It's not great, not amazing, but it is a good ride for kids, I guess. Another Dr. Seuss ride, we got whatever this is called. I forget what it's called, but I'm gonna go top of D tier. I think it's definitely better than the carousel just because you get to ride it across all of Dr. Seuss land. And you get good views from up there. You are able to see, obviously, all the land, but you're able to look over the water and see everything that's over there, like Velocicoaster and Harry Potter World, which is also very cool. But the only thing is that, again, it is just a kid's ride, and I waited 45 minutes for this thing once. And I will never be doing that again, but it gets good views, and that's about it. Next up, Jurassic Park River Adventure. Highest ride so far. I'm gonna go A tier. This is the single water ride that I've been on, meaning that I have not been on Dudley Do Right's Ripsaw Falls. Not been on that either, because that thing's always like an hour and a half when you go. And I'm not waiting an hour and a half for a water ride, I'm sorry. But this ride is just great. It has that nostalgia feeling that I really do love. And I really like the Jurassic Park theming. This might be a hot take, but I like the Jurassic World area a little bit more than the Harry Potter World. And this ride is one of the reasons. I think that the theming is great. I love how it goes from, like, being calm to chaos in, like, 10 seconds. It's really cool. And the drop is obviously really good. I just hope that they don't change it to Jurassic World, and I hope that they can give it some upgrades because it needs them quite badly, but I hope it can stick around. Another A tier, we're gonna go top of A, I believe. Top of A. Okay. This is the best roller coaster that we have on the list so far, because obviously it's better than a kid's ride. But the launch on this ride, crazy. The zero-G roll, crazy. Cobra roll, crazy. The loop, very intense. The corkscrew, pretty good. The only thing is that the second half is bad. It's just like a whole lot of turns, a random corkscrew, and the second half just isn't as good compared to the first half. And I really do love those large inversions. So to have like the smaller turns in the second half is kind of like a letdown. But it going over the water, being right at the front of the park when you first walk in is really cool. And I'm glad that's still around because they rebuilt the whole thing in 2015, which is crazy. But you can tell that it's starting to get kind of old again, even though it's been 8 years old. You can tell it's kind of getting a little rattled again. But I'm sure if it comes down to it, they'll probably just rebuild it again. Alright, personally, my favorite family coaster in the park is Pterodon Flyers. I'll put it top of C. I don't think it's, better than, Fearfall or on the same tier, but I do like this ride. It's similar to the Dr. Seuss train thing that goes across the entire Jurassic World area. And obviously, it's just a couple of turns, not very intense at all, just for kids. But you get great views up there. And I'm lucky enough to actually ride this because if you're over a certain height limit, you can't do it. But I have siblings that are short, so I can ride it. But you get good views up there. And the only thing is that obviously you can't have your phone out on. If I could, I'd be taking videos from up there. But you get great views and I enjoy it. Alright, next ride, Skull Reign of Kong. I'm gonna go B tier. Also, if you see that I added another photo, I forgot to add Harry Potter Forbidden Journey, but it's on the list now. But back to Kong. This is a ride that is definitely overhated. I think that this is a good ride. I think that the system that it uses is very unique. And I know this is all screens other than the final 30 seconds of the ride, but I think it's still good. And obviously, compared to the park next door, it's the really only major screen attraction, so I'm okay with it. And I think that the actual story is solid. It's not the best, but it's not bad. But that Kong animatronic that's huge and looks so realistic is awesome. But this thing doesn't usually have a long line, so I like to hop in the queue and get a good ride on this because if there's no line, might as well. Alright, another dark ride. We got The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man. I'm gonna go bottom of A. For being built in 1999, this thing is great. But then again, the thing is 25 years old. It's old. It's the oldest attraction that's still at Islands of Adventure. But it stood the test of time amazingly, but compared to other dark rides like Forbidden Journey, it can't hold up. But I do think that the mix of screens and the mix of actual physical sets is really good, and obviously the fire effect and the different water, wind effects are really cool, and I hope that I can stick around for a little bit longer, but I would not be surprised if in the next 15 years they could get rid of it because the technology is advancing that much that it could be outdated very quickly. But for now, it's still a solid ride and probably top 6 in the park. Alright, another water ride that I haven't been on. Talked about this a little bit earlier, but this thing has an hour and a half wait every time. Looks fun. The drop is, I think, the tallest in the park. It's either that or River Adventure. And the theming on ride looks mid. I'm not even gonna lie. It looks okay. I'm not too desperate to get on this ride right now, But if it has a short line, I'll probably hop in, just because, well, it's got to be a hot day, but if it has a short line, I'll hop in. Another one that I haven't been on. I think this is the last one that I have not been on. But, it just looks to be, I don't even know what it really is. I just know it's like a kind of kiddie ride, I think. I think it's like one of those things that just like goes in circles. But, I don't know. It's got like no theming whatsoever, I think. So, even if I would have put it on this list, it'd probably go in F tier. Alright, on to a actual F tier, Cat in the Hat. This ride, should be, tore out immediately. This ride is trash. They could use a so much better dark ride for this area of the park instead of this torture machine and this thing that will give any person under the age of 13 nightmares. I think that they should definitely get rid of this, add a floorless dark ride, and we'll call it a day. Our first S tier Velocicoaster, and we're gonna go on a spree of S tiers. And yes, one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish is in S tier. No, I'm just kidding. But back to Velocicoaster. This is a near flawless ride. Actually, I would say this is a perfect ride. This is one of the most complete roller coasters in the world. I personally like Steel Vengeance a little bit more, but you can't deny that Velocicoaster is probably the better overall ride. The theming from queue to in station to on ride is really good for a Intamin Blitz that's one of the most high thrilling roller coasters in the United States. And that's saying something because the United States has rides like obviously Steel Vengeance, they got Mako down the road, they got all the rides over in California, they got Wildcats Revenge, all the good rides that you know, and this is still up there as being one of the best in the world. And obviously the theming's good, but also people just really love this layout. And I love this layout. I think the mix of inversions, airtime is really good. And the theming on top is just the cherry on top. Another S tier, but it will not be the top of S tier because Velocicoaster has that spot. But I will die on this hill. This is the most diverse roller coaster in the world. The most diverse. It has the best theming out of all roller coasters. I previously said that Velocicoaster is the best theming for a thrill coaster, but this is the best theming for a roller coaster ever. The queue line is the best that I've ever seen. Every single room is detailed so down to the detail. It's crazy. Like, it actually crazy. Especially when you start going like underground, seeing all those different rooms, like Haggard's room. It's crazy. And don't forget that the actual on-ride experience is great. 7 launches, a spike, a backward section, a drop track. Are you serious? Like, it's got so many different elements, and this is just a family coaster. Like, it's crazy. And I think that this is arguably the best roller coaster in the park, and that's saying something because Velocicoaster is so good. Alright, one fish, two fish, blue fish, S tier. Nah, I'm kidding. It will be bottom of D tier. Yeah, we got all of the kids area rides in the same area, and that's where they will all be. Because they all kind of suck, but this is just like one of those like normal flying things that you would see at many parks. Like there's like a handful of these at Disney. I know there's actually 2 of these, but yeah, they're alright, I guess. But final ride, we got Harry Potter Forbidden Journey. My favorite dark ride. I think that this ride is really good. I think people hate on it for, like, the screens part, which, like, I don't understand. Because, like, the screens are good. It's not like the screens are, like, bad. They tell the story very nicely. And then the actual sets are, like, what's going to, like, pull you in. You know? And I think the sets are done really nicely. And I think that the actual, like, Boom Claw is definitely the best seat for a dark ride ever created. Definitely the best train ever created. And I am very excited for the one coming to Epic Universe, because if it's anything like Forbidden Journey, it could be my favorite dark ride in the world. And that was the tier list. Comment down below if I missed any rides. I believe I got them all. But also comment down below if you have anything about my tier list that you do not like. But obviously, it's my tier list, so it's mine. You can't change it. But other than that, comment, subscribe, go to my community tab, and check out the tier list if you want to do this for yourself. But other than that, have a good day.